Am I in the wrong for being upset after my dad called me fat on my birthday and suggested I lose the baby weight, hurting my feelings? Posted by you/Emijo333. I am 27 years old, a new mom to a 6-month-old son, and married to my 25-year-old husband. We are both full-time music teachers, pouring our hearts into our students and our family. My dad, who is in his 50s, has always been a loving presence in my life, though his constant comments about weight have left a mark. On my birthday, his remarks about my body and my husband's pushed me to tears, leaving me unsure how to address his words without damaging our relationship. My relationship with my dad has always been strong. Growing up, he was supportive, cheering at my choir concerts and helping with school projects. But his insecurity about his own weight was a constant topic. He often complained about his dad bod, making it a family theme. As a teenager, I faced his comments like, "If you lost 5 more pounds, you'd be perfect." At 6 feet tall, I struggled with body dysmorphia, and those words led to unhealthy habits. Years of therapy helped me find peace with my body, especially after pregnancy and a C-section. I thought my dad had moved past such remarks, but I was wrong. I was excited for my 27th birthday. My dad was visiting to help with home projects and celebrate with us. The morning started perfectly. I sat in our living room with my husband and son, sipping coffee and opening gifts. My son giggled, grabbing at wrapping paper, and my husband smiled, handing me a card. It was a rare, quiet moment, the kind I cherish. My dad walked in, carrying a mug, and sat across from us. He said, "Bear with me, I need to break into dad mode," and launched into his usual talk about his weight. I nodded, expecting the familiar speech, thinking he would pivot to birthday wishes. Instead, he turned to us. He said, "I'm an old man who's overweight, but you two are young and overweight. You'll have an easier time losing weight. You don't want to be the heaviest in the family." I froze, my coffee cup heavy in my hand. His words stung, catching me off guard. He continued, "If we all took the summer to get skinny, we could keep each other accountable." Then he looked at my husband and said, "You're just like me, the family fluff." Turning to me, he added, "And if you want more kids, it'll be harder to shed that baby weight." I felt tears prick my eyes. My husband's hand tightened on mine, his face tense. My dad kept going. "I don't mean to hurt feelings, and your sister told me to mind my own business, but I have a proposition. I'll pay for you both to go on Weight Watchers. Think on it and say yes, or I'll go to the garage, and you can tell me to forget it behind my back." He stood and left, the door clicking shut. As soon as he was gone, I broke down crying. My husband pulled me close, whispering, "You're beautiful." "He's wrong." My son babbled, unaware, but the moment felt ruined. My dad's words echoed my high school insecurities, undoing years of self-acceptance. I had worked hard to feel comfortable post-pregnancy, balancing motherhood and teaching. I carried my weight well, but time for exercise was scarce. His comments, especially about baby weight, cut deep. My dad returned, saw my tears, and said, "I'm sorry for upsetting you. I didn't mean to hurt you." His apology felt genuine, but it did not erase the pain. I wanted to tell him his comments were uncalled for, that I valued health over appearance, especially for my son's sake. I wanted my son to grow up free from body shame, but I struggled to find the words. My parents' divorce left our family conflict-averse, with poor communication skills. I was still learning to set boundaries, and I feared an aggressive talk would strain our bond. I loved my dad and wanted to keep our relationship intact. Needing guidance, I turned to Reddit. Late that night, after my son was asleep, I posted in r/AITA, explaining the birthday incident, my dad's weight comments, and my hurt feelings. I asked if I was wrong to be upset and how to address it gently, without conflict. I hit submit, hoping for advice to navigate the conversation. Responses came quickly, offering support and strategies. One commenter said, "Be firm. Tell him it was inappropriate to comment on your weight as a child and now. If he does it again, take a 6-month break. He needs professional help for his distorted view on weight." I replied, typing on my phone, "I don't want to go no contact. He's an amazing dad otherwise, very supportive. But I need to set this boundary." Another suggested, "Be honest. He came from concern but handled it badly, especially on your birthday. Write a letter from love, since that's his intent." I responded, "I think he's worried I'll struggle like him, physically and mentally." He said similar to my sisters, but not on their birthdays. A letter might help. Someone else advised, "Tell him you love him as he is and don't want him to address your weight again. He needs to accept you." I nodded, reading their words. Another commenter said, "You're blessed with an amazing dad." I replied, "I agree. His silence, since, makes me think he regrets it. I still need to talk to him, especially for my son." The advice gave me clarity. I spent the next day reflecting, planning a calm, honest conversation. I wanted to protect my son's mental health and preserve my relationship with my dad. The Reddit feedback was a lifeline. Supporters validated my hurt, while others offered practical steps. I felt nervous, but empowered, ready to address the issue. I wrote down key points, practicing what to say. I wanted to emphasize my journey to self-acceptance and my son's future, hoping my dad would understand. Update, May 6th, 2025. A week after my post, I felt ready. The Reddit comments had given me courage, blending firmness with love. I called my dad, while my husband watched our son. My heart raced as the phone rang, but I was determined to set a boundary. I said, "Hey Dad, I hope you're doing well. I want to talk about my birthday." He replied, "I'm so glad you're bringing this up. I feel like I shot myself in the foot. I'm so sorry." His voice was heavy with regret, easing my nerves. I said, "I appreciate your apology, and I know you meant well, but I've worked hard to love my body, especially after pregnancy and my C-section. Skinny doesn't mean healthy, and I feel good about myself. I want to set a good example for my son, so he grows up with a healthy mindset about bodies." He said, "I'm so glad you love your body. That's what matters. I'm an idiot for bringing it up. Sometimes parents say things meaning something else, and I messed up. Thank you for calling. I feel like a weight's lifted. I've been thinking about it all weekend. I love you." I smiled, relieved, and said, "I love you too." We chatted briefly about other things, then hung up. The conversation was calm, honest, and exactly what I needed. I felt lighter, like a burden was gone. My dad's regret and openness reassured me. I sat with my husband, sharing the call, and he hugged me, proud. I updated my Reddit post, detailing the conversation and my relief. I thanked the community for their advice, which shaped my approach. New comments poured in. One person wrote, "Wow, communication that worked. Well done, that wasn't easy. I'm a fan of loving ourselves and making sustainable changes." I replied, "Thank you. It was hard, but I'm glad we talked. I want my son to see healthy self-love." Another said, "What a fantastic update. Usually, it's jerks who can't be accountable. This is a breath of fresh air. Congrats." I responded, "I appreciate that. My dad's accountability meant a lot." Some reiterated earlier advice, urging firmness if it happened again. One said, "If he brings up weight, remind him of this boundary. Protect your son." I nodded, reading their words. The support reinforced my decision, while the warnings prepared me for the future. I felt grateful for the community, which gave me tools to navigate a painful moment. Looking back, I see how far I've come. My dad's comments hurt because they echoed old insecurities, but therapy and motherhood taught me to value myself. This incident tested my ability to communicate, a skill I'm still building from a childhood of avoiding conflict. The conversation with my dad was a milestone, proving I could set boundaries with love. My dad's apology and reflection showed his care, even if his delivery was flawed. I believe he'll respect my boundary, especially for my son's sake. I want my son to grow up confident, free from the weight obsession that marked my family. I'm committed to modeling self-acceptance, showing him health is about balance, not appearance. The Reddit advice was invaluable. It gave me scripts, confidence, and perspective. I learned to blend firmness with empathy, honoring my dad's love while protecting my peace. I hope my story helps others facing similar family dynamics. Setting boundaries is hard, especially with someone you love, but it's worth it for your mental health and your child's future. I'm moving forward with hope. My dad and I are on good terms, and I feel stronger in my self-worth. My husband and son are my anchors, reminding me what matters. I'll keep working on communication, ensuring my family grows in love and respect, free from harmful comments.